This is Jeannie Hughes. This is the digital presentation section on my lesson, Curriculum Priorities. What grade would you give yourself for the class TL 715? So to recap, we've been talking about curriculum priorities, and in the first part of this lesson, we looked at three kind of essential focus questions. What do we want our students to do really well? Where are kids having success, and where do our kids struggle? So we ranked our curriculum priorities based on those three questions. So the second part of this, we're going to look at the two questions down at the bottom. So for the first question, what grade would you give yourself on being able to determine the best strategies, practices to implement the priorities that we've set forth for this coming year? And the second question would be, what particular strategies come to mind? So I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about that, jot your grade down on a piece of paper, and come up with three strategies that just pop into your mind right quick. Okay, so you had a few minutes to give yourself a grade and to come up with strategies. So I'm not going to talk about the grade that you gave yourself, but I would like to talk about the strategies that came to mind. Hopefully you came up with three that popped into your mind right quick. And hopefully some of the strategies are on this next slide that I want to share with you. So this is from John Hattie. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a top researcher, and he has studied student achievement, and he's identified 256 different factors that factor into the levels of student achievement. So I picked out 5 that are in this high category for student achievement, and it looks like we've done all of these, from scaffolding, classroom discussion, jigsaw, micro-teaching, video review, to deliberate practice. If you notice, all of these have a very high effect. And John Hattie said that anything from 0.4 and above is kind of your hinge point. So the higher your number is from above 0.4, the higher you're going to affect student achievement. Now, even though these are great factors, we wonder what are the actual top factors, the factors that really increase student achievement. And he had 5 of those that he listed. We're only going to really look at the first 2, but they are collective teacher efficacy, self-reported grades, teacher estimates of achievement, cognitive task analysis, and response to intervention. So if you don't know what collective teacher efficacy is, it's really just that belief that teachers have in their ability to positively affect their students' achievement. But the one that we're going to focus on is self-reported grades. Now, another word title for self-reported grades he's given it is student expectations, right? So it's what students expect that they're going to be able to attain in your class. And if you look at it, it has a very high effect size. So it's on the very top end of what affects student achievement. This is a video of John Hattie, and he's going to give you a quick definition of what self-reported grades is. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Now I want to talk a little bit about how we can apply what John Hattie has said about self-reported grades to the classroom, and I've kind of broken it down into 4 different factors. So the first one is goal setting. So this is students setting goals for themselves throughout the year and throughout the course. Second one is predicting their performance. How do they think they're going to do in your class? Third one is self-assessment, how they are doing currently. And then the fourth one would be the use of rubrics, how they can use, you as a teacher can use rubrics, and how a student can use rubrics to give input and feedback on their progress. So let's look at the first one. The first one is goal setting. So since we are foreign language and it's an elective, our students choose to take our class. So they've got to really look at their vision. Why are they taking our class? What is their vision for our class? And I've included kind of a graphic of foreign language. So lots of people come into foreign language and they think, oh, it's going to be easy. I'm going to be speaking fluently within a year. Where in reality, if you look at the cartoon, it takes a very long time to reach that fluency. So in the goal setting, they have to make smart goals. They have to do something that's measurable and attainable. They have to be able to show what they can be able to show that they've reached the level they're aiming for. So how can you do this? First of all, we can use the I can do statements from ACTFL. Notice these are geared to the interpretive, interpersonal, and presentational modes of communication, and they're for different levels. I've just shown the novice and intermediate, but it goes all the way up into the superior range. Now, another way that you can use goal setting, and this is from a French teacher, is she creates units, and if you see, she puts the goals right at the beginning of the unit. A lot of us use I can statements every day in our classes, but if we give it to students at the beginning of the unit, then they can get a view of what they're going to do throughout the whole unit and set goals for themselves. Now, the second thing is predicting performance. So how do students predict their performance? So that's actually pretty easy. This is an example of a poster that you could use and put up. This is probably a middle school age poster. And it shows how they can understand from an A, B, C. They understand mostly, they understand a little, or they don't understand at all. This can be as simple as putting on a test, this is what I think I got because. Now, in the third part of how we can apply self-reported grades to the classroom, the third section of this is self-assessment. And this is an image that I got from the Jefferson County Public Schools Foreign Language Department. So in their self-assessment, they kind of combine several things. They combined I can do statements. They have students doing a goal, and they've identified the goal as intermediate mid. Then they've given 3 things that they can do in all of the different communication skills, from interpretive to interpersonal to presentational. And then they put at the bottom how you can put that to use. Now, another example of this is from ACTFL. This is just a checklist that students can do. What am I able to do at this point? How far, what do I need to do to get to this point? And then lastly, we have rubrics. Rubrics are a great tool for students because they help them identify certain skill sets. So for example, this is from the Kennesaw State University. It's an example of a novice interpersonal mode rubric. And it covers conversations, language, communication, language control, grammar, pronunciation, and pace. And here's the second one. I use this one frequently. It's from the Ohio Department of Education. Notice it also gives their target performance level. It goes from a strong to an emerging, and it gives some definite things that they can work towards. So to conclude, how can you use self-reported grades to increase student achievement? And there are really 3 things you can do. Have your students set goals, make sure they're realistic and attainable. Have them predict their performance. That can be as simply as writing a predicted grade on a test or assignment. Have them self-assess pre the activity, during the activity, and at the end of the activity, and use rubrics so that they can evaluate and get formative feedback. And then all those three things combined can help to increase student achievement. Thank you.